Hey everybody. Okay, so for tonight's homework is on 4.2, divide decimals by whole numbers using models. So let's take a look at the first one. Here we have 1 and 5/10 divided by 3. And remember to get the quotient, we were looking to see how much we're in each of the groups. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I know that the quotient will be 5/10. So each one of these has 5/10. Multiplying it out, 5/10 times 3 equals the 1500th, or I know that there's 10/10 in one whole, so it's 1 and 5/10. And you can simply add that up. 5/10 plus 5/10 is one whole, and then there's the extra 5/10. All right, let's look at number 2. Number 2, 2 and 4800ths divided by 4. Well, let's look at each group. This is one group right here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I have 6/10 and 200ths, so it's 6200ths. And I have the same in every group out of the 4 groups that I have. So my divisor says that I'm going to divide those into 4 groups. And 6200ths times 4 will equal to 248, or 2 and 40. 248 hundredths, or 2 and 48 hundredths. All right, let's look at the next one. And remember, the work has already been done for you, so we're just looking at the quotients. And so you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, and this is representing 2 and 8/10. So I have 1, 2, 3, let me do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundredths. Not 700, 7/10. So sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths. And 7/10. All right, since I know that they've all been divided equally, well, 7 times 4 equals 28, or 2 and 8/10. So my answer is 7/10. This next one here on number 4, I had 3 and 5400ths divided by 3, so I'm going to have 3 groups. Looking at this one, remember my flat represents one whole. The rod represents 1/10, and these are my units, so I'm going to put 1/10. And these are my units that represent 100ths. So this is one whole, so this is going to be 1, and the next one would be 1/10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 and 1800ths. Okay. So when you have 1 and 1800ths times 3 groups, it will equal to 3 and 5400ths. If we take a look, I have 1, 2, 3 wholes, and there's 10, 20, that's 30. But here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 5 is 10. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another group of 10, that's 5, with 3, 4. So with 400ths left over. All right, very good. Let's move on to number 5. Explain how you can use the whole number expression 248 divided by 4 to check that your answer to exercise number 2 is correct. So let's look over here. I'm going to kind of move this down. I think it's in a blur. So the 2 and 4800ths divided by 4. And we're saying that how does changing that to a whole number help us solve that problem. Okay, so here we can see that the decimal place value, the decimal place in the dividend moves 2 places to the left. So it's 1, 2. It's actually moving. So we have, this is here, the whole number. So we looked at it, that we had the 248. It was moving 2 place values to the left to bring it to 2 and 4800ths, right? If I move the decimal place in the quotient 2 places to the left, and I know that this equals to 62, and I move it over here, then I get 6200ths. So my answer is reasonable. So here you're going to simply write in, explain how you can use the whole number expression, 248 divided by 4. So with this one here, I can write that the decimal place in the dividend and let me reduce this just a tad. There we go. And the dividend moves 2 places to the left. And this is where I have the 248. And this will give me 2 and 4800ths. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to write it here, 248, then I'm moving it 2 decimals to the left. And this is where I get the 2 and 4800ths. Then if I move the decimal, the decimal place to the quotient, two places to the left. This is where I get 6200ths. And then I'm going to put commas, so my answer is reasonable. Okay, there we go. Here I divided into 4 groups, and I have the answer of 62, and then I'm going to move it back in, my decimal, and there you go. All right, let's take a look at number 6, problem solving. Mrs. Tillman builds furniture. She saws a maple board that is 4 and 5600 meters long into 4 equal parts. So I'm going to write maple. And this is 4 and 56 divided by 4 equal parts. And then she saws oak. And I'm going to write my oak. That is 3 and 69 meters long. And she cuts those into 3 equal parts. Which is longer, a piece of oak or a piece of maple? All right, well, let's check and see. I know this is going to be 4 groups, so I'm going to just kind of draw up my 4 groups right here. I have 4 holes, right? So I'm going to draw my flat to represent my holes. And I'm done here. Then I have 5 rods, right? Well, if I can place 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I will do, just right above, you can see the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I took 4 of those and I placed them over here. I have 1 left over, so I can break those up into hundreds, and I have 16 hundredths left over. So there's 10, right? 10 units, and we were talking about that a unit is a square. And then there was 4, so that gives me 14. I'm sorry, 6. There were 6 of them. So I can, if I want to write this out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to place these units, 16 hundredths, or the 16 hundredths, into these group of 4s. I can ask myself, if it were a whole number, 16 divided by 4, what does that give me? Or I can restate it as 4 times what equals 16? Yeah, you're right, 4. So I can put in 4 in each group. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's first group. I'm going to take the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross out the next group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and cross out the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And look at what we've got here. Looking at my quotient, I know that my flat represents 1 whole. I have 1/10 and 4 hundredths. So this is 1 and 14 hundredths there, which, if you look, it's very close to this one right here for number 4. All right, so let's take a look at the oak. I'm going to draw 3 groups. I have 3 holes, so I can just simply move 1, 2, and 3, and I can get rid of this one here. So 6, 3 goes into 6. How many times? 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rods, right? So let me cross out the first 3, just so that you can see it. 1, 2, 3. Cross out the second group of 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm done here. 3 goes into 9. Okay, so I'm going to have 9 hundredths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you already see your groupings there? Yeah. So I'm going to cross out the first 3. 1, 2, 3, and cross out the second set of 3 hundredths. And the last set of 3 hundredths. All right, and so what does this read? So each one has a value of 1 and 23 hundredths. So which one is greater? Very good. 1 and 23 hundredths is greater than 1 and 14 hundredths. Bringing back that greater than, less than, equal signs, right? So which one is it? It is oak. Oak is the winner, as the longest one. Let's look at number 7. Drew has a video game with 5 different challenges. He sets the timer to play his game for 10 and 75 hundredths. He spends the same amount of time playing each challenge. Okay, so each one is 10 and 75 hundredths. How long does Drew play for the 5th challenge? Okay, so he spends the same amount of time playing for each challenge. Well, let's go ahead and check that part out. So here, because it's on the 5th challenge, so I'm going to have 10 and 75 hundredths divided by 5. I'm going to represent that with my groups down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I have 10 holes, right? 10. So I can put So if you're wanting to, you can draw out your 10, but I'm going to go ahead and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that takes care of my 10 holes. I have 10 flats. Next, I'm going to have 7/10ths, right, which is 7 rods. But I only have 5, so I'm going to have 2 left over, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm using 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of those 10ths left over. Well, I know that there's 10 hundredths in 1/10, so this is going to give me 25 hundredths, including this one. So if I draw that out of, let me move it over here, and this here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's already 2/10ths. And now I need the last group of 5 here in the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if you can see, I already have these lined up in 5s. So this is going to be one group of 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make those a little bit bigger because I don't want them to look like little chips. 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another group of 500ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I was going to put them all in each group as we went along, and you can if you're understanding the concept on that one. But if you're not, you can continue doing it one at a time. This is 4, 4, 4, 4, 400ths, and then the last group, this is 5 100, 1 100, 2 100, 3 100, 4 100, 5 100. All right, so my answer is going to be 1, 2 holes. I have 1/10 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hundredths, and so my answer that he spends on that one game is 2 and 15 hundredths minutes. Because he sets his timer to play his game for 10 and 75 hundredths minutes. So if he spends the same amount of time playing each challenge, how long does it take for the 5th challenge? So the total amount is 10 and 75 hundredths minutes for all 5 games. So each one is 2 and 1500 minutes long. Can you do that? Play for only 2 minutes? It's a challenge. Let's look at number 8. Karina places concrete blocks along one side of her garden. The length of the border is 3 and 6/10 meters. If she uses 9 concrete blocks, what is the length of one block? All right, so what are we going to do here? Very good. We're going to divide it. 3 and 6/10 divided by 9. Now, can we bring this out and we can think about 36 divided by 9? What's 36 divided by 9? Yeah, 4, because 4 times 9 is 36. But remember, I moved that out. I'm going to move this back in, and it's 4/10. If you're needing to draw it out, you can. Remember, you're going to have 9 groups, though, so make sure that you're drawing out 9 groups. And then this one here will have to be broken up into 30 tenths, because you're going to have 10 tenths in one hole, and you have a total of 3 holes. All right, very good. Let's go to number 9. Next, use base 10 blocks to solve this division problem. 12 and 15 hundredths divided by 3. Which set of blocks shows the quotient of 12 and 15 hundredths divided by 3? All right, well, let's look at this. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 groups, right? So first of all, I have 12 wholes. So 12 divided by 3 equals, 4. So if you wanted to draw this out, you had 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats, 5 flats, 6 flats, 7 flats, 8 flats, 9 flats, 10 flats, 11 flats, 12 flats. Now I'm going to divide this up. So this is 1, 2, 3, and then I have another group of 3 that I'm placing in there. Another group of 3. And then my last group of 3. My little circles are not big enough. All right, so right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ones. Well, I'm looking at my answer choice. This says 0, 1, so that's not going to work. This says 5 ones. That's not going to work. So far I have 4 ones, so this is right and that's right. Now I have 1 rod and I have 5 hundredths. Well, I only have 1/10, so I cannot split that evenly into my 3 groups. So I'm going to cross this out and I'm going to have 10 hundredths. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 is 15. Okay, so now I can group them up. And here, if I look, this says I have 5/10, but I don't. I only had 1/10. So I know right away that's not going to be it. That's the problem right there. So I'm going to have 0/10, and let's see how many hundredths in each. 1, 2, 3. So 1, oops. I wanted to do it one at a time, just in case you were still having some challenges, so that you can see it without having to do that together. So I'm going to just kind of wipe this part out. That's kind of stuck now. There we go. All right, I think that'll be okay. All right, so this was 1, 2, 3. I'll place that down here. And then I'm going to take the next 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Take the next 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I missed this one right here. That's why. You want to be really careful. Do y'all see that one? So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then this last one. 1, 2, 3. And it's 1, 2, 3. So this one I'm going to have my 4/10. 4 ones. I have 0/10, and there's 500. So the answer is B. Okay, very good. Wow, that took a little bit of a time. Let's look at number 10, which is this expression for Carter to solve. This has base 10 blocks to show Carter's solution to his division problem. So I have this one group, 2 groups, 3 groups, and he has 4 groups. So I notice that they all have 4 groups. Now I'm going to add this all up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know that each one is 7 and 1/100ths, no tenths. 7 and 100ths, 7 and 100ths, 7 and 100ths. Now you can, when you're saying add them up, you can add all of these up, see what you come up with. And you can also add up right here. You know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 times 4 is what? 20. There we go. 7 times 4 is 28. But I have how many? So I had 28 hundredths. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10. That's one whole. And then I have 7, 8, 9, 10. Or I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'm doing is I'm counting my holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 2 holes and 8 tenths. And then how many hundredths? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 hundredths. So now I know that it's 284 hundredths divided by 4. That's what I got. If you added these all together as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 0. And then I had my 28. What did I do wrong? Okay, do y'all see what I did wrong? Did y'all catch it? Yeah, it's not 7 holes, right? No, that's not what I do. What is it? Did y'all good? To let me know that you caught it before I caught it. It's 71 hundredths, guys. I'm thinking of it, but I'm not saying it. So it's 71 hundredths because I have 7 tenths and 1 hundredths. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 28. And there we go. So it's 2 and 84 hundredths divided by 4. And it doesn't equal to 7 holes. It has 2 holes. And I never caught that. Good. See how easy you can make mistakes? Make sure that you understand that place value. There we go. All right, tell me what I did wrong on number 10. But you have to have caught it, not after I made my own mistake. All right, so number 11. Mr. Jefferson gives his 2 children $5.46 to spend at the garage sale. Oh, that's so sweet. If they split the money evenly, how much will each child get? Gives his 2 children. Oh, well, guys, I'm just splitting this in half, right? So I have 5 and 46 hundredths, or $5.46 divided by 2. I'm going to have 2 groups. I have 5 holes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have 1 hole left over, so I'm going to make that into a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have the 10 plus the 4 that I have is 14. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you already figure it out? I hope so. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sound like a broken record. 2, 1, 2. Okay, so each one received 5. Plus I have this 4 here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So very good. So I have, so far I have 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's 6 hundredths. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they each get $2.73. Yippee! Okay, let's go to this next one, number 12 and 13, and then it'll be done for tonight. So Mrs. Gonzalez decorates the perimeter of the rectangular bulletin board. Guys, that's like what I have the green border on inside the classroom. Now she cuts a ribbon that's 3 and 72 yards long in half to decorate the top and the bottom. So 3 and 72 hundredths divided in half means 2. And then she cuts a ribbon 2 and 6/10 yards long in half. So I'm going to split that in half to decorate the other 2 sides. So how much shorter is one side of ribbon than the other? All right, so let's take a look at this one. And remember, we're showing it as models, but if you can get it by now, this is that same concept. That same concept, but we're going to stick with the modeling so that you have a better understanding. I'm going to get another sheet of paper so that you can see on the side as I walk this through. So it's 3 and 72 hundredths divided by 2 equals. So I'm going to have my two groups. I have 3 wholes, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to use 2 of those and place those in here. I have 1 left over, so I can make those, break that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I already have 7 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. So I'm going to go ahead and split those into here. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to take 2 more out, put it in here. Take another group of 2 out, another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2, another group of 2, and another group of 2. Now I have this one left over, right? So this, I have 10 hundredths to 1/10. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 with these 2 left over here, and 11, 12. So I have 12 hundredths. Think of it as whole numbers. 12 divided by 2. I need to put 12 into 2 groups. So 2 times what will give me 12? Yeah, 6. Very good. So let's see if that works out. 1 and 1. Bring in another group of 2 hundredths, another group of 2 of hundredths, another group of hundredths, another group of 2 hundredths, and the last group here. So did I have 2, 4, 6? There you go. So here for my answer, I have 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 86 hundredths for the first one, because I split that in half. And now the next one, I have 2 and 6 tenths divided by 2. So if we're doing it this way, I have 2 wholes, and I have 6 tenths. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 1 and 3 tenths. And this was 1 and 86 hundredths. Now my question is how much shorter is one side than the other? So now I have to take the difference. 1 and 86 hundredths, I'm lining up my decimal, 1 and 3 the hundredths now, because, or 30 hundredths. So I'm going to subtract out. Can y'all see that? Sorry about that. So I'm taking the difference. So this is 6. 5 and 1 minus 1 equals 0. So the answer is 56 hundredths yard. All right. And the last problem for tonight, this last multi-step problem, take a look at what this reads. Tamika bought 6 fish at the pet store. Oh, how sweet. For a total of $7.26. Oh, wow. If 2 of the fish together cost $4.10, and each of the other 4 fish had the same cost, how much was the remaining fish? All right, a couple of things that are happening. So let's go ahead and see what we're doing here. So we know that she bought 6 fish, and the total was $7.26. Well, if 2 of the fish together cost $4.10. We need to find out what that difference is. So this is 6, 1. Okay, so now it's $3.16. So that was for 2. So 6 minus 2. So we need to find out the cost on 4 fish. Yeah, absolutely. So 3 and 1600ths divided by 4. I'm going to have 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't have enough here. I can't take my 3 holes and put them into 4 different groups. That won't work. So I'm going to go ahead and make 30 tenths. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is a representation of my 30 tenths. So now I can move them. I'm going to take the first 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I'm going to 1, 2. I did it again. Got myself off. I did not want to do that. I knew eventually I'd find myself off rhythm. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then check myself. I know that there's 4 groups of 3 is 12. So I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very good. Now I'm ready to start. The next group of 4s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16. Okay, so I'm at 16. Next group of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take another group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have 2 tenths that are left over. And I only have 1 tenth here, so that's 3 tenths. Will I have enough? No, I need to regroup that into hundredths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hundredths. And then plus the 6 that I already have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now let's see where we're at. Sorry about it. It's taking some time tonight, but I want to make sure that you're understanding on drawing these. So now I have a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 of those. 22, 24, 26. Oh, look at this, guys. So if I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6. So what happens here? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see what I did? I caught myself again wanting to fill in each of those, but I did it on 2. Check my work. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4, 8, 12, 16. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 that I've already taken out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to just try it at my best. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. 2, 3, 4. I messed up someplace, didn't I? Okay, so guess what I had forgotten here? Remember this one here? This is my 2 tenths, but I still had 1/10 left over. So I'm going to include that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so now I can get rid of that one. All right, because I had, so it's 10, 20, 30 hundredths is what I should have had. Okay, so now I'm over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have separated my hundredths into 4 groups. So I am left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 hundredths, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. Okay, so I did skip a group over here. Remember when I thought I had messed up? Because 4 goes into 36 9 times. So I needed to have the 9 there. That's where I messed up. I think that if you'll play back on this video, you'll see that right here. This is where I messed up on that part right there. You back up on the video. So I have 7 tenths and 9 hundredths. So my answer is 79 cents. It's a little confusing with all these dots, right? So the answer to this one is C. Okay, so again, you were going to take your total. You have 6 fish. That equals $7.26. You already bought 2 fish. That cost together $4.10. So you subtract that out. Now you have 4 fish left that have a total cost $3.16, and so now you need it to divide that. All right, there you go. And then we're going to start working on the standard division, but you also had to recognize it in the models because that's the way it's presented with stars. So I want to make sure you understand that. Guys, have a great evening. This was a long one, so I will see y'all tomorrow and be ready for the next one. Have a great night. Bye.